Hi, my name is Keith Kleiss. I've been in Orthotech for 23 years. I'd like to demonstrate the total contact cast. Now I know there are a couple different styles of this. Some involve over padding to unload the troubled area. I'd like to demonstrate the technique of using Orthoflex, the shrinking plaster, and an enclosed toe box for that total contact effect. So these are the supplies we're going to need to make this cast. First, stockinette that will reach from the popliteal area to a couple inches beyond the toes. Padding, I prefer cotton for wicking through the toes and a minimal layer of padding along the cast. Then we'll go to the Orthoflex, the shrinking plaster, for that total contact effect. Then we'll strengthen the cast with 3-inch and 4-inch white fiberglass for the base cast. There will be felt up the tibial spine. Now I've found some patients complaining about just felt not being enough padding, especially around the tuberosity. So I've incorporated the foam padding underneath the felt, and I've gotten a lot of compliments and results with that. The foam is also for enclosing the toe box. And finally, the colored fiberglass for the final layer of strength and the aesthetic beauty of it all. Of course, you've got your gloves, your scissors, and tape for the edges. And I will also tape a pedicle chuck to my thigh. Since you cannot use a foot stand on this type of total contact cast, I think the most difficult part of this is keeping the patient's ankle at 90, so I will rest the foot on the thigh during the entire casting process. So let's start with the stockinette, like we said earlier, from the popliteal area to a couple inches beyond the toes. And before we pull it there, we're going to wick the toe. So this helps keep the moisture buildup down inside the cast, since it is a closed-toed cast. And we'll make sure that, especially beneath the foot where the metatarsals are, the cotton is perfectly flat, so as not to cause a ridge and a new problem inside there. Now we'll bring the stocking out beyond the toes. And we'll cut the stockinette away. An overlap is fine, but the fold over and a ridge is unnecessary pressure on the skin there. So we'll get rid of that. And now, close those toes. Seal it with the tape you pulled off earlier. Trim the excess. You got no wrinkles pushing on the skin. Okay. And a piece of foam that will go up the tibial spine, we can place that on now, since it will hold itself in place. The felt we will hold in place with the padding. The padding to enclose the toe box, like I said, behind the metatarsal heads. Around. And seal the toe box. And very carefully, again, trim the excess. Alright, like I said, balance the foot on the thigh to keep the 90 degrees, because if a patient drops out of 90 and you bring it up later, the padding and especially the casting material puts a dangerous amount of pressure in the dorsum of the foot and actually encroach on the vascular return of the blood flow from the foot back to the heart. Start with our padding. I'll start back by the heel, bring that around without any pressure. Get rid of the excess tufts. And then, like without, bring under the foot, keep the foot at 90, supporting it with the hands. Slight tension on the cotton, like with any casting. The cotton determines the tightness of the cast. Then we'll bring the other felt in. Ask the patient to hold that for me. As we 50% overlap with some slight tension. And I will go an extra rep or two at the top. Really consider that over padding since it's the biggest part of the calf area. Get rid of our excess felt. Check there are no wrinkles, adequate padding for the heel. And glove up. I will double glove now that they no longer have powder in gloves. I like to use a second set of gloves for peeling the edges back and the final layer of fiberglass. First layer, the Orthoflex shrinking plaster. Now, a little advice, I would leave the tab sticking out like that, because once you dip this in water and the elasticity takes effect, it comes out almost like crepe paper or Coban, and it can get a little difficult to find the edge. Dunk that, 3 light squeezes, then twisting the edges a little bit will keep the majority of the water in there, so you don't get a dry, chalky plaster. Again, starting at the heel, coming around. No pulling. And then come over, supporting the foot to keep that 90 degrees. And proceed to wrap your plaster layer. Keep your casting tape in contact with the limb. Really reduces the risk of a bad habit of pulling your tape. Use the phrase, pull the cotton, push the tape. A little lamination. And the second roll. There's no need to use the entire second roll. What you don't need, just get rid of. You don't need to increase the squeeze or the thickness of the cast. Again, laminate your plaster. Looks good. And we'll start the fiberglass. Again, 3 squeezes in the water, 1 squeeze out. And then we'll start at the heel again. And come over, cross over the toe area, and supporting the foot. Reinforce the heel and ankle area. Since this is a weight-bearing cast, you don't want a weak spot where it might not support the patient's weight as they weight bear. Now, unlike the plaster, any leftover fiberglass, by all means, go ahead and come on back down the leg. Reinforce the strength of the cast. If you have a little tuft, put a slit in it so it lays down better. Mold the arch, the metatarsals. This will, you want it to shape the entire contours of the bottom of the foot. There's another style of total contact where the patient steps on it and flattens the heel in the metatarsal area. This is not a style, that style we're going to show today. Now, being a weight-bearing cast, we do want to reinforce the bottom. I put 8 extra layers under the metatarsal and toe area, and I come out a little beyond the toes. I've noticed when it ends directly at the toes, sometimes, especially with the larger patients, they will crack the actual toe area. So we're bringing a little lip in front of it, and then 4 layers overlap there where the metatarsals are, and then the heel. Extra 4 layers there. And capture that. Some lamination and molding still. Peel off my first set of gloves like I talked about so that I can overlap the cotton at the top of the cast. And fold your stocking over the padded edge. Now for the final layer, even if the patient only wants white, you still want an additional layer for strength and to hold all your edges in. Alright, so and I'll go around twice just for the strength and contour of the toe area. Ready? and laminate your final layer. The vast majority of these are weight-bearing casts, so they're dry enough. Fit them with the proper size casting shoe. I will ask them usually to do minimal walking for the rest of today, allowing the setting time, the curing of the plaster and the fiberglass before they really go out and walking. There we have it. By resting on the thigh, we've got a good 91 degrees at the ankle and minimal padding for that total contact effect. Those are typically the two most common errors I see when I see other technicians cast, is the missing of 90 and over padding. Now if you have any questions or comments, please email me at kak.ortho@gmail.com. Thank you.